This is a Fox News alert. We're following the story coming out of Paris, 24 hours removed from the terror attacks upon that city. So do the Paris terror attacks indicate that ISIS has entered a deadly new phase? Clarion Project security analyst Ryan Morrow joins us, as well as Nile Gardiner, the director of the Margaret Thatcher Center for Freedom at the Heritage Foundation. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And Ryan, I want to start with you. This is obviously a new chapter. What can you tell us from a social media standpoint? What is the reaction like from pro-ISIS groups? Are they themselves craving reaction from Muslim groups?
Well, there's a few different reactions. Number one, they are very enthusiastic over the fact that there's been an increase in the quality of the attacks between the Russian airliner being blown up and then this attack. ISIS can argue now that 1 year after U.S. military operations have begun, they are stronger than ever. And then the second thing that they're focusing on is they're telling Muslims in Europe, get ready for an anti-Muslim backlash. Barricade yourself in your homes because the infidels hate you and are going to come after you. And the reason ISIS says that is because they want Muslims to feel as if they have to choose between the West or ISIS. They want there to be two camps.
Nile, do you agree with that? Do you feel like these terrorists are gaining momentum after this?
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, this was a huge operation by ISIS, arguably the most advanced, sophisticated terror operation on Western soil since the 9/11 attacks. And the stakes have been dramatically raised here. And without a doubt, I mean, ISIS poses a huge threat not only in France but also across Europe. In Britain, for example, there are several thousand Islamist militants operating there. Several hundred have even returned from the battlefields of Iraq and Syria. Today we have special forces on the streets of Paris and also London as well, and across many European cities. So the scale of the threat is absolutely huge. And let's be very clear here. We're now facing a truly global war against ISIS. This is a war that we have to take to the enemy. We have to fight them on the streets of Europe, in the Middle East, in North Africa, wherever ISIS is found. We have to defeat them.
All right, Ryan, I think you would agree when we say that this is a global war. So what type of copycat threats could we all be faced with? Relatively speaking, this was a small group of terrorists who did an unbelievable amount of damage.
It's a small group, but it's still larger than what we have seen. ISIS has moved beyond just trying to inspire a couple of guys to carry out an attack on their own initiative to actually orchestrating plots. And so there's a few different dangers here. First is that individuals who actually aren't part of coordinating plots will say that they want their name to be part of the story, and they want to raise the stakes even further, and so they're going to try to attack on their own initiative. And there are also those that are going to say to themselves, I might be on the radar. I've been arrested before. I might have come into contact with someone that I thought was an intelligence agency for an enemy government, and so I should strike and earn my ticket into paradise by dying before the feds come knocking on my door and arrest me and stop me from doing so.
Right. Well, I only have about 30 seconds left, so Nile, I want to give you the last word. You worked for the one and only Iron Lady. What would her reaction be to this attack?
Well, Margaret Thatcher's reaction would have been one of tremendous strength and resolve. I mean, she would have led the free world to defeat Islamist terrorism. And her central message was you cannot negotiate with terrorists, you cannot appease them, you have to destroy them. So we need to see an end to the kind of leading from behind mentality that the White House is currently projecting. We need to see the kind of strong leadership that Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan projected on the world stage. And we need to see the emphatic destruction of those who are fighting us at the moment. Those who seek our destruction, we must emphatically destroy them.
All right, very strong language from what was a very strong leader. Nile, Ryan, thank you both for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.